intelligence chiefs are also sending out new warnings on North Korea as it celebrates a diplomatic win in South Korea.
The provocative nature and the instability that Kim has demonstrated potentially is a significant threat to the United States. Decision time is becoming ever closer in terms of how we respond to this. Our goal is a peaceful settlement.
Meanwhile, North Korea's high-level delegation made something of a triumphant return to Pyongyang this week, debriefing leader Kim Jong-un on their trip to the Olympics.
Via state media, the North says it's making sincere efforts to improve Korean relations and slammed, quote, reckless moves by Japan and the United States. Our Ivan Watson is standing by live in Pyeongchang, but first we're going to go to Barbara Starr, who is at the Pentagon. So, Barbara, the U.S. intel chiefs are clearly not buying into Kim Jong-un's diplomatic moves with South Korea.
Not one bit of it. A very hard line from all the intel chiefs on Capitol Hill here in Washington earlier today. They are making clear that they still very strongly have intelligence that tells them Kim is pursuing his weapons program, has no intention of negotiating it away in talks, and they are not impressed by the appearance of Kim's sister at the Olympic Games at all. Listen to what the CIA director had to say.
The American people should all remember that Kim Yo-jong is the head of the Propaganda and Agitation Department. There is no indication there's any strategic change in the outlook for Kim Jong-un and his desire to retain his nuclear capacity to threaten the United States of America.
So there you have it, the CIA's assessment of Kim Jong-un's sister that the world saw at the Olympic Games, reminding the world she is one tough customer. Also reminding of the North Korea's actual conventional military capability, which is perhaps worth remembering. A 1 million-man army, 70% of it now stationed south of Pyongyang, its capital. Tamara, Michael.
Bottom line, nothing's changed. The threat is increasing with North Korea. Barbara Starr, thank you very much. Live for us here at the Pentagon.
Thanks, Barbara. Let's bring in Ivan Watson now. And, of course, we've seen the North, Ivan, doing their victory lap over this so-called charm offensive. What's been the reaction there?
Well, they are promoting kind of the triumphant return of the high-level delegation from North Korea that met 4 times with the South Korean president in and around the opening ceremony of the Olympics. There is a lot of complimentary language coming from Pyongyang right now towards South Korea, from Kim Jong-un himself. Thanking South Korea for its hospitality and for this new spirit of kind of inter-Korean dialogue. I'm struck by that because I feel like it was only a matter of weeks ago that North Korean state media was slamming the leadership of South Korea, accusing top officials of being lapdogs of the U.S. imperialists in their own language. But right now, North Korea is being very complimentary to South Korea. That does not extend to Pyongyang's rhetoric towards Japan and the U.S. You have a senior official in the North Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs who's quoted in the state media as saying, quote, the U.S. and Japan are the very culprits of destroying peace, aggravating the situation, and obstructing national unification on the Korean peninsula. And this will probably add fuel to the suggestions from some analysts that North Korea is trying to drive a wedge between South Korea and its U.S. and Japanese allies. You have to keep in mind, not only was Pyongyang recently criticizing South Korea, but it was only last November that it was firing a ballistic missile that was banned according to many United Nations Security Council resolutions. But there's clearly, as we have talked a lot in the last week, a diplomatic charm offensive certainly directed towards South Korea right now and the people of South Korea coming from North Korea, which is a change in rhetoric from what we had seen even just weeks ago.
Yeah,
Michael and Amber.
A lot of eyes on South Korea's Moon Jae-in and see how he reacts to these diplomatic overtures.
Yeah.
Ivan Watson, thank you so much.
Whether he goes, indeed. Let's